Welcome back to AV Veterans Talk. We're continuing our conversation with this week's guest, John Roth. So, Edwards Air Force Base out there. Once you were growing up in the world of amazing people that you just basically took for granted. They're just the faces.
They were just Dad's friends.
Yeah, and they would show up. As a young guy, and your mom still, I know her health is
very bad,
but she's still with us, right? She's still doing good, but just struggling along. But the son, when you saw your dad go off to work every day, did you grasp?
Had no idea.
No idea.
No clue. I knew he was a pilot. I mean, he wanted to go flying, but yeah, you just didn't have an idea what he was up to, and who he was going out with and meeting with, and it was like, wow.
So you lived out on that part of town, and of course it was Sonic Boom Alley back in those days. They couldn't upset the chickens enough on those days out there. And that really never realizing that your dad was connected to what you were hearing and what was going on, and of course the loss of life during that time period was. There's a lot of streets out there, right?
There's a lot of streets
with names on there.
I had to get quite a bit older before it dawned on me what he did and who he hung around with.
Yeah.
And these people that would come to the house to visit. They were just Dad's friend.
Yeah. Well, it's fun because we shared the story a little bit early ago and stuff about Chuck Yeager coming, and of course you were in diapers, and Chuck Yeager was changing your diaper.
Well, that's because they were in the front yard sanding on a gun stock, and I was laying on the blanket out there, and the diaper got wet.
Yeah. So I always think that's kind of a very neat story for you, a legacy to think that. We think of the greatness of these individuals, and to you, it was just the guy.
Yeah.
They just showed up in the driveway.
Let's go up for this one because I always remember this and I'll never forget it. I was outside in the driveway doing whatever I was doing, and a brand new 1958 T-Bird pulls in, and out pops this little bitty guy in an Air Force khaki uniform with gold bars, brand new second lieutenant, and his wife. The guy's name was William J. Knight.
Pete Knight.
And I had no idea. My mom was friends with his first wife, Helen Stone. And he just got stationed at Edwards. And, I can remember as a child, I wasn't a child then, I was in high school, we would go out, my sister or I would go out and babysit their kids, because Pete was flying, and Stoney, is her nickname, was at the Officers' Wives Club. So Mom would run us out. In those days, the base was wide open. There was no gates, no nothing, We'd go out, and they were on post up there in the end of one end of the base, and we'd sit there and keep an eye on the boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Once again, today it's hard to wrap your brain around.
Oh, I know. It's just amazing. It's like I mentioned that, Pancho Barnes would pull in the driveway with her horse trailer, hop out the door and say, "Where's your damn father, Sonny? I need a beer."
Yeah.
And all I thought was, who's this grumpy old lady?
Yeah.
Had no idea until I got older. This is the infamous Florence Barnes. She ran with Pancho Villa.
Yeah, exactly. As you progress with your Air Force career later, you watch these individuals coming back to Edwards Air Force Base and aging. And it was amazing to think they lived these great lives of the test pilots, but then to watch them age and fall off physically. It's probably hard to grasp that because you got to see it. You were in the front row.
Yeah, you're right. We were in the front row watching all that. I watched my dad do the same thing. Get older, and the Republic decided he was too old to fly anymore.
Yeah.
So he went into real estate and ended up selling houses to all these pilots.
Right. And he worked at, Hartwig?
We owned Hartwig.
They owned Hartwig Realty. And, it's tough to think that, the passing of life, we deal with it every day. The older we get, it's something that we just take for granted. And you think that of a test pilot. And And sadly, you know, you lost your father to cancer.
Oh, heart attack.
A heart attack. And he was way too young,
53.
53 years old. And
I've always looked at it this way, and I have to. Dad got to do more in his life than most people ever dream of doing.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he didn't get left out.
Yeah, and of course you take that and
Got to run with it.
You got to run with it, and we're kindred souls here because I was thinking, you know, as I watched my dad pass, and he was in flight test his whole life, and you know the things he got to see and do and be a part of. You know, he was blessed, but you know, it's still, you know, we look at that legacy, and you know, your son, I'm sure, would have liked to interacted more with Grandpa in those days, but once again, you know, you just, you know, and a heart attack, and I'm probably pretty sure, you know, because when the Republic said, you know, you need to stop flying, you know, they probably was there medical.
No, it's just that they felt that when you got to 40, you were too old
You
to
were
fly
done?
anymore.
Yeah, 40.
Yeah, you were just
Gosh,
couldn't take the stamina.
Gosh,
you know?
don't we know some F-22 pilots are like in their 60s?
Oh, I know. Today it's a lot different.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to go to our break here, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about current military and your get your take on where we are today. Okay.